Okay, this last one is actually a more encompassing conversation about what the I guess the overall impact COVID has had on the economy many a year and a half, 2 years later. And this one encompasses quite a few different places where information comes from. This first one coming from of all places, Tech Radar, saying global tech shortage that stole Christmas, and this came out 9 days ago, and they're basically saying that hey, unless you've been sleeping under a rock and you're not in the tech industry, trying to get your hands on a 3080 Super or excuse me, just a 3080 video card, a
Yes. Yeah.
PS5, an Xbox has seemed to be difficult. And they're saying that this difficulty is going to increase over the next few months leading up to the holiday season. Some of the things that they say have been part of the cause of inflation has led to high demand and low availability. Number one, production, it's more expensive than it's been before. And the supply chain issues that have hampered even new car deliveries and chipsets, well, they're still affecting even the production cycles themselves. Nvidia and AMD have also come out to say that their current production is struggling and they don't expect to have enough products to meet supply or demand this time over the Christmas holiday season. And they're saying that products will be hard enough to find this Christmas season, let alone to find bargains. Now, some of the things that also have been pointed to the snarling effect of what happens in technology right now. This one comes to you from the New York Post, says that the shipping lanes themselves have also been crowded, and that shipping expensive has risen from a container that used to cost $3,000 to now containers costing $30,000 to ship the same amount of goods. Even to the point where now even the product manufacturers are looking to purchase ships so that they could ensure that their supply lines are kept intact for this Christmas. But even beyond that, the Better Business Bureau is saying that even while you think about the microchip shortage that might impact the holiday season, there's a few things you might want to actually take into consideration. You might want to consider buying your goods now because products might run out much faster than people think. The other
Mhm.
part of it is you won't be able to find great deals. Okay. Have a backup plan and watch out for people that are going to try to scam you, taking advantage of the fact that, hey, these products have been in high demand for a while and it's just not getting any better. So we've actually touched on this a few times on the show between the automotive industry struggling to get cars out of the factory doors because they just don't have the chipsets to put inside for the systems that are on board. We know that if you're in
Mhm.
technology, you've struggled to get video cards. It ain't going to get any better. What are you getting for Christmas, Corey? That could possibly be impacted by this shortage? Because all my goods I know will be.
Well, well, actually, I haven't talked much about it on the show, but I like the Pixel
Yeah,
phones,
yeah.
Google's line of Pixel phones, so running Android. I prefer. I just seem to have ended up preferring those over any of the other OSs, whether this proprietary through Samsung's, T-Mobile, or whatever it might
Hmm.
be, or Apple. And there's a new Pixel coming out, Pixel 6. I'm interested to see, obviously, features and prices and that stuff. But yeah, dude. I mean, that's like a few days from now. Well, I think the 19th they announce it, and I don't know what supply is going to be. Who knows? They'll announce it like everybody else, but that doesn't mean I'm going to get one. So we'll see. Just again, dovetailing on this thing here, I put another link actually over in the Go Live right at the
Hmm.
top, and it talks about all the car manufacturers. I know we're not talking about gifts here, but it's another illustration here. Talking about how all the shortages are affecting car
Ah,
manufacturers.
ah.
One headlining right at the top, the Super Cruise from Cadillac. Some of those are not going to have Super Cruise. Some of the Escalades are not going to have Super Cruise in there. So you need to verify
If
what
you're
you're
already
buying.
well, that's the funniest thing because you know what? Maybe
So
we'll ditch the Lexus, November or December to remember sales event because they won't have any cars to sell this December. So we won't have to watch people walking out into their snowy front yards with a bow over a big Lexus this year because they just won't be able to sell. But the other part of it is, yeah, even things like the Lyric, they might be impacted. But even so, yeah, auto manufacturers aside, I got a lot of things
yeah.
on my list. First of all, if you guys haven't been paying attention, or maybe you do or don't know, the channel is going to get a day one delivery Steam Deck. I mean, it's going to be here. Now, I hope
Yes.
that's
Yep.
not delayed because of chipset issues. Also, I'm in
Mm.
the process of upgrading my phone from my iPhone 11 Pro Max to a 13 Pro Max. And the thing is, right now, it looks like shipping dates have slipped all the way back to the middle of November. Now, that's not terrible, but the difference is it's not nearly as bad as people that have been in the marketplace for PS5s and Xboxes that literally have to
Oh my,
wait for
yeah.
them to show up at, on sale somewhere, and literally they're gone in minutes. The same thing for the Xbox. And
Yep.
it has now been a full year and 2 months since the 3080s have been released, and I still can't get one for my new PC build from last year, which makes me wonder when and if I'm ever going to get my hands on one, because I'm not willing to pay the astronomical prices that are there. Now,
Hmm.
I'm wondering what the situation will be like coming up into Christmas, because if these shortages start to show up, say, right about Halloween time when people are really looking for these gifts, this could be an abomination for retailers and people that
Yep.
think that this is going to
Yep.
be a great boon for the economy at the holiday time, where we
Yep.
generally put quite a few $1 trillion, but not maybe trillion, but back into the economy. It could be hurtful.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. And it's interesting. We hope that a lot of the companies that have products that are high tech related
Right.
would have seen this coming. We hope, so that they could maybe have products coming out a little bit earlier. Because of course, people who make big ticket items, make no mistake about it, they time their releases so they get the maximum exposure and then hopefully the maximum sales prior to holiday
Mhm.
season. And that's all well and fine, except if they do the same process, but then find out they can't make them after they've sold a whole bunch of them. Christmas is delayed, or well, I don't know how to say it, but yeah. So just as we kind of saved this whole segment, yeah, if you know what people might want, or yourself or whatever, try to buy that stuff early, budget early, and get it early. And I hope that anything that comes out closer to
Ooh.
Christmas, you're just gonna have to do your homework, see where it's released, when it's released, how you can get your hands on one, such as like, are there no online sales? Do you have to go into the store in person?
Mhm.
And just the last part too for me, like, give it back to you, was I know you and I know, but if you guys don't know either, if you're out there looking for graphics cards, for example, there are some big box stores with certain blue and yellow colors that do get shipments of 3080s and other GPUs
Mhm.
that are not sold online, that you can find where they are, when they're going to show up, or before they do. And then, yeah, I mean, the whole like Black Friday, people camping outside to get one the next day, that's going on still for these graphic cards. And the big deal there is, right, if you get one and you get one in person, you can't lose it to somebody online or some bot buying it out from under you online. But also, you're getting it for what it's worth, MSRP. You're not paying scalpers rate. It's right off the shelf. There it is. So they're out there. They're just hard to
There
get.
you go. So from Statista, I think what I'm seeing right now is that they're saying that on average, the retail sales are somewhere in the $5.5 trillion is what they're saying.
For North
Yeah,
American
North
holiday
American
sales.
holidays, and about 753 billion in US dollars is what actually happens in the USA. So that's
I'd be interested to see the breakdown of that, of high tech stuff,
interestingly
or
enough.
anything that would be impacted by
Yeah, they
this.
won't show me that graph because you have to buy premium, and I'm not buying premium. However, it is interesting to see that that's what they have listed there for the holiday spending season. Now, it could be, who knows what's going to happen. We're just putting this out there to say, hey, if you're thinking about what this holiday season might mean for you,
Yep.
other things that you might not have anticipated that will actually suffer downstream effects, because they're going on to say in this New York Post actual article, they're saying that this isn't going to just affect high tech goods. There's a lot of supply chains that are going to be actually impacted by this, because all the freighters that can't get into ports or are currently
Hmm.
waiting out ports, and the three major actual ports across the globe that are really being impacted are, and they go into this actually pretty clearly. They're saying the port of Los Angeles, there were 28
Yep.
ships anchored off of the port of Los Angeles. The ports in New York, New
Saw that. Yeah.
Jersey also had their volumes up 15%, but that's another one. They also say China and Vietnam are being impacted, and also Taiwan, which are major ports of export.
Major
Yeah,
semiconductor
yeah, yeah.
suppliers, Taiwan.
Huge. And then finally, trucking, consumer, and the things that are tougher to get. And I don't know about you guys, but I've noticed that on our grocery store shelves, items have become sketchy at times, where you walk in and it's kind of like, wow, you guys used to have this stuff on the regular, and it's actually shown up.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
so actually, James had a comment in there. He said he signed up for a 3080 GPU through the manufacturer's website. If I get notified, selected I'll let you know. Oh yeah, because I know James did something different. He wanted a 3080. He couldn't get it. So he went out and bought a new PC with a 3080 in it. So he actually sidestepped the whole system. Problem is,
Yep.
my guts and my PC are all brand new anyhow. I just want the video card. I would prefer a 3090, but a 3080, especially because I'm pushing out, triple 2K screens, would be a big boon for me too. So
Yeah, I've done the same. I'm also signed up at a manufacturer's website
cool.
for 3080. So
Cool. Excellent.
we'll see.
Well, let us know what you guys think in the comments below. If you think it's time or we're too late to start your holiday shopping, what other items you think people don't anticipate that might be in short supply, and how much you're willing to pay for that tech this Christmas, especially with things like the nice new shiny Switch OLED out on the marketplace as well, right? So that could be really interesting to see if people really want that from Nintendo. So hey, let us know in the comments below. All right, so James continues.